What's going on, man? Welcome back to the basement. I'm Ron. We've made some upgrades here. I got a new light. I got a little bit of a colorful light behind me. I think it kind of sets the ambiance a little bit. Let me know what you guys think of, I don't know. I don't want to call it a new setup by any means, but we made some upgrades here. All right. I think that things look a little bit crisper. The lighting should make the camera look a little bit better. Things are coming in place. All right. It's the off season. We're making upgrades. It's been a minute since I've done a real video. Like, we're doing streams and stuff. We're putting in the work. We're worrying about taxes. We're worrying about upgrading the set behind me, if you want to call this a set. But how are we doing, fellas? It is good to be here, new and improved, in the basement, ready to hop into some Dynasty drafts, or a Dynasty mock draft. We'll do like 15 rounds, all right? How are we? Let me know, everybody. Let me know. How do we like this setup? Does it look good? Actually, look at this. I can actually control it from my phone if I would like to. Did I do anything? Look, I can even do this. And look, fellas, if you have epileptic seizures or anything, please click away before I do this. I can do strobe lights now. I don't know when I would ever need to do strobe lights, but that's just what we're working with for now. I will say, though, this almost looks better. Like, I almost wonder if I should turn off. No, this is too dark, I think. My bad, fellas. I'm just messing around. I'm just goofing a little bit, fellas. What if I put this on half? Ooh. If I put this on quarter. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know, guys. All right. How are we? How are we doing? Looking fresh. Actually, no, I got to get a haircut very soon, but yeah, strobe lights. We'll figure out a way to do strobe lights. We'll figure out a way to incorporate things in here. What do we got? What do we got in here? I'll gas you guys up for a second. The Go has arrived. Thank you, Brandon. Brandon's the boy. Canadian Brandon, I believe. Upgrade Ron. Yes, sir. We got Gabriel in here. We got John looking sharp, you're telling me? I got to put on for you boys. I'm not dressing up for the girls out there. I'm out here strictly for the guys in here grinding Dynasty. Screw taxes. I'm with it. All right, here we go. Let's get this figured out now. Strobe lights for the hot takes. I think that would be pretty sweet. Dude, this almost looks like a streaming setup. All right. So let me hop on Sleeper real quick. We're going to do a Dynasty mock draft. The reason we're doing a Dynasty mock draft today, one, is that it feels like it's been a minute since I hopped on here. We had a real intimate stream where we would just go one-on-one, talk shop, talk Dynasty, go through a Dynasty mock draft, and just shoot the shit and hang out with the fellas in here. Maybe, I don't know, we have like 1% female audience. I always feel bad. Like, I get comments sometimes. It's like, you know, I do say man a lot when I, like, welcome back to the basement. I'm Ron. I think I used to do it more, but people are like, oh, it's not very inclusive. Though you can look at my statistics. Like, no females are really watching the channel, and if they are, few and far between. But I will say, we love all the women that peep the channel, even though they're mostly just my relatives, like mom, aunt, all of those. But so what was I on about? All right, so we're gonna do a sleeper draft. Again, the reason we're doing a sleeper mock draft, Dynasty startup mock draft. By the way, I'll drop that link in the comments. So if you guys like want to join in, that's how it'll be. I'll just drop it in the comments in a second here. The other reason is that I just finished my recent update for the Dynasty rankings. You can get those description down below. They'll be in the comments. A little ticker down, or wait. Oh, I don't even want this ticker. I want this ticker. But on the patreon.com/Ron Stewart, I dropped a completely updated Dynasty rankings on like Tuesday. So that's going to be a top 250 Superflex tight end premium rankings. You get my tiers where it'll say like buy, sell recommendations for every single player. You'll get all of my prospect like database grades, tiers, my model, and then you'll also get my early top 40 rookie rankings. I just put them out. So we're going to hop into today. sort of stress test the rankings here. Not stress test them really, but just hop in here and kind of see what's what this far into the offseason. I'm going to turn off my heater in a second. I didn't realize it was going to be so hot down here. Let's get this. I'm going to get this started. I'll throw a link in there, and then I will turn off my heater. But how are we doing, fellas? How are we doing? I went to I was talking about it yesterday on stream with the Stock Exchange boys, but I went to a Seton Hall game yesterday, basketball. I love going to those games. Prudential actually, for as much as like Newark is an absolute shithole, fellas, like God bless anybody that like lives in Newark, dude. I couldn't imagine as well. I don't know, dude. Like imagine, I don't know, if I'm like a college kid and I'm driving into Newark, it's just like the most ugly like pit stain of New Jersey. And I think that's why New Jersey gets such a bad rep, dude. Like people love to shit on Jersey. Outside of like Newark and like the really disgusting like Meadowlands parts, like it's a pretty beautiful place. But geez, dude, Newark is I words can't even describe what Newark what Newark has going on here. We got Tom Anderson in here, the boy. We got Jack and Tube HT dropping a $10 super chat. All right, once I get this started, I got your super chat. Don't you worry. I'm currently just trying to make sure I don't screw up the setup here. So we'll make it super flex. We'll do 12 rounds, 3 wide receivers, and then we'll just go 2 bench spots. Why not? 2 bench spots, a quick little 12-rounder. All right, I think that should be good. General again, make sure it's Dynasty 2 quarterback. All right, let me hop in here. And then I'll drop a link in the live chat. And I'll share my screen in a second here. All right, here you go. Link. I don't know why I put a random L in there. And it'll just be first come, first serve, fellas. But let's see. Jack and Tube HT. Jack and Tube HD. Hey, what's up? In Dynasty, I traded the 105 and Chig Okonkwo for Olave. I also own the 101, the 102, the 103, the 104. Was it a good trade? Only players on my roster right now. I'm going to assume Superflex. So Superflex PPR, tight end premium. I think I would do that. I think I would do the 105 and Chig Okonkwo for Chris Olave. Let me think for a second. Who, like my 105, like yeah, I would take, like my 105 is whoever you want to say the wide receiver 1 in this class is, and I would take Olave over that all day. And Chig on top really isn't anything like over the top, if that makes sense. Like if that's the juice I got to pay to get from the rookie wide receiver 1 to Chris Olave, who had pretty much the best year 1 that you could possibly have for a rookie wide receiver, not named like Jefferson, OBJ, etc. Give me Olave. All right, so let's screen share here for a second. I think this looks good. How do I usually set this up, dude? I think this probably will be good, just like this. Oh yeah, and that's gonna be a comment from a while back. All right, let me see real quick. Actually, I think that this is fine. I was gonna zoom in a little bit more, but I think that we're good. All right, so we still need like 4 more people to join. So there's a link down there. I put it right here. Please join, so we don't have to wait for a while. But again, we got Tom in here. This man, CD, stays gas. Yeah, CD loves to gas Robust RB. Where is he? Robust RB or bust. Don't even draft me in the first round. It's a crazy dichotomy. He is the name of a wide receiver, but he loves to gas up Robust RB. What's up, Ron? Hope all are having a blessed day. Thank you, John. What's going on, brother? Can I join this? You can. It's right here. It says link. This comment right here. Just click on it. Boom. It'll take you to Sleeper. You'll be right in there. I'm going to get up and turn off my heat, and then I'll be right back. All right, we need 2 more. 2 more, fellas. If I wasn't driving, I'd draft with y'all. You got to get your priorities straight, man. You got to get your priorities straight. I think you just got to draft while you're on the road, man. I also hate to say it, dude. I've been doing this a lot. if me and the fellas like going out to a bar, like last time we went out to a bar, and on the way in, I started up an underdog draft, and then by the time we got there, I just put my phone in my pocket and I just let Jesus take the wheel. But all right, so let's randomize and let's go. We got Tom in here finishing up homework, but he's still in here to gas up the boys. Randomize, what do we got? All right, so I'm at the 109. Also, I believe that this is going to be third round reversal. All right, so I'm going to start this up. This is Dynasty, Superflex, Tight End Premium, third round reversal. Boom. Should be good to go. What else we got in here? Another super chat. Thank you, Jack. What do we got? What would you do with the 101, 102, 103, and 104? I would have to see what your team looks like. You're saying the only players on your roster are Walker, G-Dub, J-Mo, and Dolchich. No quarterbacks. I would trade off of the 101. I think that Scott Connor, honestly, great channel over there. The like Dynasty Trades in Fives. I don't know why I pluralized it, but they have a really cool channel. But they've been hammering home, and something that I want to talk. We'll talk about this like as I get back into making videos. But the idea is, if you have the 101 and you're drafting Bijan Robinson, you need to be in a spot where you're competing, or else you don't want to hold on to that 101 and take Bijan, because Bijan, even though he's going to be a rookie running back, like super young, he's not somebody you want on your team if you're rebuilding. You don't want those points right out the gate. He's going to be a 1-2 turn redraft pick, so he's going to score a lot of points for you. And it's also, he's a short-term asset just as a running back. So you don't want the fragility on your team. If you're not ready to score points and compete, you shouldn't be taking Bijan Robinson. I will say you don't have any quarterbacks. I think 2 and 3. If you want to just sit in the pocket and take Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, I think that works out. But I would be moving off of the 101 for, like I would, and I'm not saying just move off of the 101 to move off the 101. Try and get, a king's ransom for the 101. This has been a really hyped 101. Try and get some future firsts out of it. See if you can get the equivalent of like 3 firsts in value, something like that. If you can move off of him and get into any of the elite quarterbacks, I would do that as well. Like I would even, like if you can move off the 101 and not pay a ton extra to get into Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Lamar, Justin Fields, I would do that all day. But yeah, I also wouldn't be like, don't get too set on not using those picks either. The 101 is the only one that I think you have to trade out of. I believe that there's rookies in this. I believe so. Bijan's in the pool. So we have rookies in here. All right, so I'm on the clock, and I did not even realize. All right. So Justin Fields, Jamar Chase. The issue is I want to go Fields, but I think I'm just going to take Chase. No, we'll do something different. Like I feel like I always take quarterback round 1. Actually, give me Fields. I hate that I was thinking so long about that. I think it's very close, but tug in your chain, fellas. Hope you're doing good. Thank you, Dylan. Been a minute. You're in this mock? Sweet. Rookies in this? Yep, I feel like I'm repeating myself. You got the 104. Shout out Trades in 5. Yeah, they're awesome, dude. What is Zach Charbonnet's dream landing spot? Seen a lot of steam on him lately. Give me Carolina. I think Carolina's a good spot. Really, I feel like anybody that needs a running back, or anybody who's sort of lacking size at running back, I think would make sense. So I think the Dolphins make sense, right? Like they don't really have anything going on at running back. Chiefs, of course. I guess I would say Eagles too. Now, I don't think that the Eagles are a great landing spot for a guy like Bijan or Jahmyr Gibbs, because we don't want a mobile quarterback, because we want all the pass catching in the world. But I don't think Zach Charbonnet is ever going to, give you a 100 target season. So Kyler's gone. Man, I might just take Bryce Young here. So Bryce Young, McCaffrey, AJB. No, give me AJB. I think it's honestly close between AJ Brown and Bryce Young, just because of the value of quarterback. but I'll go A.J. Brown. Whatever. Why not? Love Scott, Connor, and crew too. Been geeking out hard on focusing on roster construction. Yeah. I feel it. He's great, man. He 100%, in terms of kind of like clashing like best ball roster construction and dynasty, he's amazing. Scott Connor. He was one of the first guys that I felt like it really clicked for sort of combining the two. Like the way that I think about redraft and, either take running backs early or a bunch late kind of shapes how I shape my dynasty teams. I kind of do the same thing. I either take a bunch of darts late with like a crazy amount of running backs on a 0 RB team, or the other way around, where I'm taking running backs up top. Also the idea of like not having roster clogging with wide receivers and just having running backs that can be lottery tickets, especially in dynasty leagues where your roster is like 30 deep. You can get really smart. I'm playing Madden, drafting, and ordering pizza for the boys right now. Multitasking at its finest. You love to see that. You do love to see that. Ron back from the darkness retreat. That's literally me right now, dude. I'm working on the tight end prospect model right now. I will say my plan was to have it finished by now, but it's just tough. It's tough to plan these things out. It takes a while. Like literally just hours, copy and pasting, compiling the data. But I'm excited. Miami's an awesome spot. Yeah, I agree. I also think any running back in Miami is an awesome spot, just because I think Mike McDaniel will maximize them regardless. Seton Hall win, though, dude. Seton Hall got pumped, bro. They got pumped. They've been bad this year. And I was hyped, too, because they got Shaheen Holloway, the guy from St. Peter's who made that magical March run last year. And it's just been pretty tough. They can play defense, and that's about it. Xavier came in, shot the hell out of the ball. I think they were shooting like 50% in the first half from three. I will say we came out of half, and like the whole Prudential goes crazy. For as much as like Prudential's like a small arena and doesn't really have any respect, like Prudential will get rocking. Came out of half, they were like putting on a run. Like we got it down to single digits coming out of half. Like the whole stadium or the whole arena was going crazy, and then Xavier just put out the fire, and it was never close after that. I would bet Gibbs to go to New England to reunite with Bill O'Brien. Honestly, I don't see the Pats taking a pass catching running back, at least as high as Gibbs would go. Just because I think Pierre Strong kind of fits into that role. I think Ramondre, of course, fits in that role. I think they're going to want more of a grinder to kind of replace what they're missing with Damian Harris. Wow, Pitts and Andrews there at the start of the third is sweet. My goodness. So who's left on the board? Is there anybody I'm missing? Man, Pitts and Andrews are great picks there. Diggs? All right, give me McCaffrey then. Give me McCaffrey. If we're going to be in a room where no one wants to take running backs, give me it. Surprised a Jets fan and you didn't take Brees? What, at the A.J. Brown spot? Nah. I'm telling you guys, I'm really not a homer. Like, I've never been somebody that's just trying to hoard Jets players. Like, as much as I'm a Jets fan, Garrett Wilson was my wide receiver 3 last year. I had him behind Treylon Burks and Drake London, which was wrong. But just trying to show that I don't just see a guy has a Jets decal on his helmet and I'm like, oh, I'm all over him. It just happens right now that they have a bunch of offensive talent that I love. Ron, do you think Barkley stays with the Giants? It's a tough question to answer because I think that they have a pretty sharp front office, like decision makers, all of that with like Dable, and I think Schoen might be the name of the GM. So it is tough. Where I think that they know that they don't want to pay a running back big money, especially if Daniel Jones is going to ask for all this cash. So it's tough to gauge. Like, all of these, I really only have a grasp on who's going to get cut and everything with the Jets, to be honest. Like, those, it could really go either way. Like, I think you could ask, like, 10 Giants fans, or actually Giants fans probably think that he stays. I don't know. It really would depend on what he's asking for. But gun to my head, I say that he probably stays with the Giants. But I don't think that they would be thrilled to pay him, like, league-setting type contract numbers. You're saying if the Giants don't sign or tag Barkley, hope that they draft one of the top RBs like Charbonnet. Yeah, that would be cool. Charbonnet, Bigsby, Zach Evans, I think all those guys. I think it honestly makes more sense. Trying to think through, like, Dable with the Bills, of course he wasn't a decision maker, or he wasn't the GM or the head coach. And they've just been stringing it together with, like, Singletary, Zach Moss. But that did also bite them where, like, lack of a running game has definitely, I would say, been one of their sort of Achilles heels in these last 3 years. So it's tough to say. It's tough to say that if he'll go the money ball route and just say, you know what, we'll draft, we'll let Saquon walk, we'll sign a Damian Harris, and we'll draft a guy third round, fourth round, and let that rock. So it's tough. Mayer, I like the model. If I had grades for Kincaid and Mayer, then the model would be done. I haven't even inputted the 2023 guys yet. I'm still right now. I'm still literally just compiling data. I haven't even started to like take the data and model it. Like I'm putting together historic RAS, 40 time, speed score, agility score, games played by age, school, SRS, SOS, like tons of stuff. Early declare, something I want to look at too, see if it matters. I will say I can give you guys a sneak peek though. Something that I found interesting was I put together, so what I solve for with these models is a player's points per game in their first 3 seasons. So it is kind of interesting to see tight ends points per game in their first 3 seasons, just like what sticks out, if that makes sense. Never mind. Actually, maybe after the draft. My computer's giving me problems there. All right, what do we got? Of course, Bijan and Gibbs are good too. Yup. Team 12 lighting it up. Yeah, I agree. Bijan, CD, Pitts is amazing start. Ron, who are you hoping the Jets get at quarterback this year? Zach Wilson. Is he basically dead? The thing about Zach Wilson, and I'll be man enough to tell you guys, numbers-wise, he was a good prospect. Like, he was drafted 2nd overall. His numbers looked good. Killed the pro day. Again, got the draft capital. Some film grinders really liked him. I think he does get another shot. Like, he's not dead. He's going to probably do like a Sam Darnold, a Mitch Trubisky. He's going to get another shot somewhere else. I do truly believe that. There's going to be like 5 to 10 teams that had, like a first overall type grade on him. Jeez, man. You guys absolutely took all of the wide receivers, huh? Man, Gibbs is a great pick there. What rookies are available? Dude, honestly, give me A-Rich, bro. Give me A-Rich. 409 in a startup. I'll take A-Rich there all day. I will. I don't know if that's crazy. I don't know. To me, if Stroud is 211, Young is 207, Daniel Jones is 404, JSN, so what? Like, this is me taking him at 1, 2, 3. I'm an idiot. 4, 5, 6. I'll take A-Rich at the 106. I got no problem with that. Could maybe making a case to taking QJ or JSN or Addison, but if Anthony Richardson, fellas, if Anthony Richardson goes top 12, if he goes top 12, and that's what he's projected at on grinding the mocks right now, if he goes top 12, he will be an elite Konami code quarterback in my model, which elite Konami code quarterbacks are literally Mahomes, Josh Allen, like Fields. Like the only non-smash would be Marcus Mariota. So I'm not saying he's a lock to do that, but he would be in really good company, and really all he needs is the vote of confidence from the NFL for him to pop like that in my model. If he gets the vote of confidence from the NFL and they take him in the first round, or they take him in the top 12 picks, right, not like Jordan Love range or anything. And why it's top 12 is really just if you look there, top 12 is still Justin Fields range. It's still Deshaun Watson range. But then after that, it gets ugly. It gets really ugly. You start getting into your, Paxton Lynch's. You get into your, I was going to say Drew Lock, but not Drew Lock. I mean, of course, you have like Lamar Jackson, but you also have Tim Tebow. Bridgewater wasn't a smashing success. Quentin Johnson didn't go yet. I'll take Quentin Johnson. I think rookies across the board in these startups are probably values just because I think they're not valued properly by this ADP is what I'll say. But yeah, Quentin Johnson in the 5th round, I'll do that all day. He's way too low down here. I will say Debo is interesting though. Debo is very interesting, but I'll take QJ. Debo is really, really close there though. All right, so I've been missing. I don't even know. All right, so the thing with Zach Wilson is he's going to get. Yeah, my feeling is I think that he gets traded maybe around NFL draft time. If there's one of those teams up top that really wanted to get into the quarterback sweepstakes, like I don't know, maybe the Texans I'd put in there, like the Colts, the Panthers, the Falcons, like any of those teams up top, if they whiff on a quarterback and, they're looking at like a veteran starter, maybe they trade for Zach Wilson. Like maybe you trade like a 3rd or a 4th for him. The reason I want him gone is because you can't cut him. Rookie contracts are fully guaranteed. We owe him like $12 million a year for the next 2 years, which sucks. And again, you can't cut him, so I'd love to trade him away. But yeah, I don't think he starts any games for the Jets ever again, unless he somehow makes it onto the Jets roster for 2023 and our QB1 goes down. That's really the only scenario I can see him throwing passes for the Jets again. But again, I think that he will get his shot somewhere else. There were a lot of teams that absolutely loved him. What do I got? You said, as a Giants fan, you think Schoen keeps DJ and Saquon, but it'll be interesting to see the prices. Yeah, it's tough. Dude, if DJ's going to ask for $45 million and Saquon's going to want like top 3 running back money, I just don't know. I don't know that they oblige. You think he stays probably tagged? I think that's fair. What's my order between Amon-Ra St. Brown, Waddle, and Garrett Wilson? Garrett Wilson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Waddle. With Wilson, you're getting a year minimum on those guys. Or actually, no. Yeah. They were second-year guys last year. Wilson was a first-year guy, so you get 1 year of cushion. He's in that same exact area. I like him better than Amon-Ra St. Brown because he's not just a slot guy. He has that upside of being like a X. He looks special after the catch, and he's catching balls downfield. He's looking amazing as a route runner. And then Waddle as well. Like the issue that I have with Waddle and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and again, take this with a grain of salt, these are both still top 8 Dynasty wide receivers for me. Just we're splitting hairs here in terms of them versus Garrett Wilson. But I think that they're a little bit more limited. And that doesn't mean that they can't score fantasy points and be great. Again, they're top 8 Dynasty wide receivers for me. But Waddle, undersized speedster, like you sort of have to. He almost has to become Tyreek Hill to get to 20 points per game. That's really the lens that I'm trying to look through. What avenue does it take to get to 20 points per game? Amon-Ra St. Brown, I guess you could say like a 120 catch season out of the slot, kind of like a la like Michael Thomas a few years back. But Garrett Wilson can literally just be Jefferson, Diggs, Devontae Adams, any of these guys that are just X wide receivers, great route runners, special. He just fits that mold for me. What else we got here? We got Super Chat. I don't know why I'm struggling to speak. Super Chat from G47730. A-Chain equals Eckler Light. Thanks, man. I appreciate the Super Chat. I would say A-Chain's a tough eval. Because right now he looks decent in my model, right? I have bronze, silver, gold, elite, legendary. Really the only guys that are elite plus are Bijan and Gibbs. A-Chain's one of like 2 running backs that are in gold right now. So he'd probably be like my RB3 or 4, especially because it seems like just because of his speed, he will go day 2 at minimum. The issue with A-Chain is he probably gets bumped down to a silver. If he comes in and he weighs like 10 pounds under what we're expecting, and then he runs like a 4, like he's got to almost break 4.3 to really hit that RAS and speed score that I need him to hit. to, or not that he needs to hit to stay in gold. So that's going to be something interesting to look at. So if he comes in like 10 pounds lighter and he runs like a high 4.3, low 4.4, then he probably gets knocked down a peg, if that makes sense. We missing any? No, okay. I'm chilling there. Round 6 Javonte is interesting. Round 6 Javonte is interesting. And I imagine Debo has to be gone at this point. Let's do Javonte, man. I haven't really bought Javonte. I don't think I have any Javonte in Dynasty across my teams, but like 609 Javonte. I'll do that all day. You said it's Saturday night and we are here watching a mock, and I'm okay with that, dude. Of course, man. Of course. And I'm right here with you, brother. DJ definitely ain't worth $45 million. I agree. I if I was that GM, I would just sign Jimmy G, Tannehill, one of those guys for much cheaper, and hope for the best. Who do you got at RB2 and RB3 at the moment for rookies? So I have Gibbs, and then 3's a toss-up. Like, if you ask me today, I would say Sean Tucker if he gets day 2 draft capital. But that's a huge if for him. So it's really tough. It's going to come down to draft capital and combine to sort of split that up. Like, I'm looking right now. Yeah, it would be Tucker or A-Chain, just because I think A-Chain is the biggest lock to get day 2 draft capital, not named Charbonnet, and I think Tucker, if he gets day 2 draft capital, would be a lock to be my RB3, if that makes sense. Because his numbers really pop. It's just going to be a matter of if the NFL thinks of him as highly as we do, which right now does not look like that. Just trying to make sure that I'm all caught up in terms of looking at the rankings right now. Again, new rankings. I'm literally drafting, or not literally drafting off of them, but looking over, sort of seeing what's what on patreon.com/OnStewart. So if you have like a startup draft or anything, I literally have my top 250 Dynasty Superflex tight end premium rankings, 250 players. I even have like what rookie pick falls into each tier, so you can kind of see like if you're drafting kickers or whatever in these startups. It's pretty sweet. All right. So Jacobs is gone. Ramondre is gone, of course. Swift is gone. Literally reading down my rankings. Judy went. Pittman went. These guys are all gone. Man, you guys are really about to make me do this, huh? So 7th round. Man, wide receivers have dried up. I goofed hard not taking more wide receivers early, but I can't start reaching on them now. This has to be Derrick Henry, guys. I'm sorry. I hate that I have to be the Derrick Henry guy in this room, but you guys are such sickos. Look at these two teams, dude. If I knew we were gonna do slimy stuff, I probably should have gone like I don't know. You can make the case that this A-Rich pick probably shouldn't have been A-Rich, but I don't know. You could have made the case that this A-Rich pick, oh man, if Adams or Kupp fell back to me, that would have been huge. But you can make the case that this should be like Debo or Quentin, or this could have been Quentin Johnston, Jordan Addison, and then I could just spam wide receivers through, but I don't know. It's tough. Oh, those are literally my rankings coming across my screen right now. I don't know why my screen is being so weird. All right, we're back in business. What else we got in here? All right, any reasonably priced QB targets right now? I actually do have a bunch that I like. This is actually a great topic, to be honest with you. So again, in my rankings, I have like hard buy, hard sell. I'll tell you some of the hard buys out here for guys that are affordable. Tannehill, this is a guy who was like hurt all last year, has put up good numbers in the past. He might reunite with Arthur Smith on the Falcons, where he'll have Pitts, Drake London, a scheme that has suited him before. And on top of that, he might still have that rushing upside, which is huge. Jimmy G as well. You can get him for dirt cheap. His price automatically jumps if he signs somewhere and becomes the starter. I like Baker Mayfield as well. He's somebody that I have a hard time quitting. He looked pretty damn good on the Rams last year for a very, very small stint of time. But I do believe that Baker will be like a high-end QB2 in this league long term if he can find a spot and stick there. I honestly don't. I don't hate buying Sam Darnold. I think Darnold gets another shot. I think that he looked serviceable last year for the Panthers. There's a chance that maybe they use him as a bridge quarterback, the Panthers. Like, let's say that they draft a C.J. Stroud or a Richardson or a Levis. Maybe they let Darnold start like the first 10 games. Again, we're buying these guys for pennies, like third-round rookie picks. So, just guys to put in the QB2 spot. I like Jameis Winston as well. He had, like 2 or 3 games this year where he looked good. He's always going to be like an agent of chaos where his ADOT's going to be high, his touchdowns and interceptions are going to be high. He creates these game environments where because he is so boom bust that he almost invites like these crazy comebacks. So I do like Jameis if he can find a spot. But that's really the biggest caveat with all these guys, but that's why you buy them now for dirt cheap. This will be the cheapest that they'll be with all the uncertainty of like, are they going to have a starting job in 2023? All of that. I'd take the Kaiser and Jordan Love. I think that's a good thing for the Giants. Like if Aaron Rodgers stays, and I was a Giants, I wouldn't mind actually feeling out offers on him as well. Wild to me, I even used him last year to get into playoffs, and ultimately I won. I just have never done Dynasty before. League is doing keepers. Oh, you're talking about Bijan? The thing is that what am I trying to say? Bijan, even in redraft leagues, is going to go in that area, man. You're going to be shocked. You're going to be shocked. His ADP is already pretty crazy. Like on Underdog right now, of course, promo code Ron, match your deposit all up to $100 on Underdog. But Bijan Robinson's going at the 1-2 turn right now. Like literally his ADP is like 12.5. Are you streaming when Indiana and Purdue are playing? Go Hoosiers. I actually think I have money on the Hoosiers. I think I do. Let me check. I think I have wait, no, I don't. I don't. I think I have Purdue minus 6.5, man. I hate to say it, Brock. By the way, it's something that I think that like people don't really know. I love college basketball. Like March Madness is probably my favorite playoff out there. All right, so we're pick away. I made a March Madness video last year that actually did pretty well. I might make another one, but I'm also debating making that on a separate channel and just starting a side channel, having the first video be the March Madness video I did last year, just because you guys like that so much. Maybe not you guys that are in this stream because you guys probably like Dynasty. But it did well in the algorithm is really what I'm trying to say. All right. So what else is out? What else is on the menu for me to have a peek at? Man, nothing looks good, huh? Fryermuth is gone. Of course he is. Is Deontay up there? No. Deontay's gone, huh? Yep. Dude, I'm going to take Rashad. I'm going to take Rashad Bateman. Let's do that. I actually think Rashad Bateman's a great year 3 breakout bet, man. He looked really good. I know that he's had injury issues in the past. That's really the issue, but the most frustrating part with Rashad Bateman last year is that Greg Roman, even though Bateman was balling out, and you can say after the fact maybe it was an injury thing, maybe it was an injury thing, and I'll give him that leeway. But if it wasn't an injury thing, it was outrageous because Rashad Bateman's yards per out run, his fantasy points, in the span of time that he was playing, he was producing like a wide receiver 2, despite getting like less routes than Devin Duvernay. Now that Greg Roman's gone, hopefully Rashad Bateman could become like a featured wide receiver. Lamar stays there. Rashad Bateman's ADP probably climbs. I think that he'll get steamed in redraft a little bit. His ADP could climb even more. Rashad Bateman, on paper, was the exact same. Not the exact same, but on paper, Rashad Bateman and Jordan Addison are the same guy. So if you like Jordan Addison, you can get him on a discount with Rashad Bateman. But of course, if Jordan Addison's first 2 years look like Rashad Bateman, that'd be disappointing. So The discount is valid. I'm just saying the profile is solid. That's really all there is to it. Like I almost like he's also he's similar to Jerry Jeudy as well, who also had like a down first 2 years riddled by injury, and now he's going like 6th round. Like it wouldn't shock me at all if Bateman next year in startups is going like 6th, 5th round. Not huge profit, but I think there is profit to be had with Rashad Bateman. I really do. So let's think. We took Rashad Bateman. Mike Williams went. That's a damn good pick. Man, there's nothing really else on the board that I like. So this is round 9, huh? I was thinking Zay Flowers or Jalen Hyatt here, but I think it's a little high for them. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm taking Alvin Kamara around 9. I'm like building a robust RB team with running backs in my flex spots, but like I can't pass on Alvin Kamara in the 9th round. If you get suspended, whatever, you get suspended for like 7-8 games or whatever, you get him on the back half. I mean, I'm not to say joking, but saying that tongue in cheek, if you will, because I do know that he could get suspended longer than that. Things should be severe. But come on now. Very few guys that have as high pass catching upside as Alvin Kamara. He's actually also the last running back to have a legendary running back season. Not to say he's going to repeat, but it's interesting. Yeah, I do agree. Jacoby Brissett's a good name to throw out there too. You're a huge college basketball fan too, and I don't blame you. The game is at Purdue. I want my Hoosiers to win, but I'm not optimistic. Because I think, Brock, last time Indiana beat Purdue last time they played. So I think they're going to want it back in blood. And I think the thing is, I think that 6.5 was too big, but I also think that's kind of the psychology. I think it's a trap. It'd be like, oh, Indiana won last time, get them plus 6.5. I believe Indiana's been bad on the road this year too. I think they're like 2-8 against the spread on the road. So that's your college basketball 30 from me. I was just talking with my buddy on the way to the game yesterday. Of course, I'm always going to do fantasy football content. We're going to grind this channel, but in the future, I would like an avenue to talk about college basketball. I'm going to do something for March Madness, either on this channel or another one. But down the road, I would like an avenue to talk about college basketball. I would say it literally goes like NFL for me, then college basketball. Gets close between college football and NBA, but I might take NBA. Like I played basketball in high school. Like I love basketball. For as much as I am focused on football. Just want to know I'm not a one-trick pony out here. But I don't play any fantasy basketball though. How many Dynasty leagues are you in? I am in 11 right now if we're counting like Devi. Longest running one is a league that I started when I was in high school. Or not that I started, but I joined. I joined a bunch of randoms. It's still going. And they still have no clue that I have a YouTube channel and I do this. So sort of keeping the act up. It's kind of like Crazy Ambassador, but not really. And I've debated wanting to leave that league, but I got unfinished business. I got to win a title, and then maybe I'll peace. Because right now, it really only makes sense for me to be in leagues with patrons or other analysts just for either networking or giving back to my community. There's only so many you can join. Like I've been approached to join startups this year, fellas. Like I'm at 11 and I might be maxed out right now. I got to be honest. Like it's a lot. It truly is a lot. What do we got? You picked Kansas to win it all last year, and I'm very close to picking them again this year. Yeah, dude, they looked really good. I had them against TCU. I had them against TCU, and they looked amazing. They looked amazing against TCU. I want to say as well that they had a game. Who did Kansas have a game? They had a game this year, Kansas. It might have been against Texas, but they blew somebody out by like 20. It might have been Baylor. They look really good, though. I love Grady Dick. Grady Dick is the man. Yeah, you're saying Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper's interesting because I've faded him forever because his target share has been low. But he came out last year and had a great target share. So he kind of like broke the ceiling, what we could sort of project for him. So we'll see. I think that he'll always be like a solid, high-end wide receiver too, which is as he gets older and that price comes down, like that's a like I almost think Amari Cooper is going to be like the new age Keenan Allen, where he's not going to be the sexy pick or whatever, but he'll give you his points. What's your feeling on Lance's dynasty value right now, and what round/range would you take him in? I love Trey Lance. I do. I really don't believe any of the Brock Purdy hype. I think Jimmy G is going to be gone. I think Trey Lance is going to get the red carpet rolled out for him. He's going to get his, 8-game audition, I would call it. And if you have been in this long and you believe in the profile, and you believe in like the 49er system, then you have to make that bet if you believe he's getting the audition, right? If you've been in this entire time and this is probably the final, audition here, but everything's lining up. There's no Jimmy G for them to fall back on. Purdy has this weird injury, and also they're not attached to him at all. I think that Trey Lance is going to get his audition, and a guy who looks like Trey Lance, I will bet on that every single time. Trey Lance is also an elite Konami code QB in the RS grades. So I will bet on that every single time. All right, so Evan Ingram goes. I haven't taken a tight end yet, huh? None of these look all that pleasant. So we took Kamara. We took Rashad Bateman last time. What QBs are on the board here? Aaron Rodgers is on the board? Fellas. I will take Aaron Rodgers here all day. All day. I mean, if he retires, I look like an idiot. But I would almost prefer Aaron Rodgers over Jared Goff in Dynasty. I think I would. And he goes where, Jared Goff? 8? Aaron Rodgers might have another MVP season in him. I don't think that's that crazy to say. As long as he doesn't retire, he might have an MVP season. I'm not saying this next season, but I think he's still probably got 3, 4, 5 years, and his tight end or his touchdown percentage is still good. His interception percentage is still good. He's still taking care of the football, making good decisions. He's had no weapons. I'm very much in. Oh, I'm setting the tone all right. UNC made it last year. This year is tougher. Yeah, UNC's in a tough spot. Yeah, I've been liking Hyatt. Hyatt's somebody that Lance Zierlein loves. So right, IU beat Purdue at Indiana. But I'll put you down on the list for college basketball content. And we got to get to you. We got to get you in one of these USFL dynasty or startups we do over at Destination Devi. Oh my God, dude! Did you say a USFL startup? A USFFL? What do you mean by that, Tyler? A USFFL startup. Can you explain what that is? Is that just a kind of how the FFPC main event is just the name of what it is, or because in my head I was like, is this an XFL Dynasty League? But I don't think that's what you meant. I think I read that wrong. All right, so we got that quarterback, and I like getting a guy like Aaron Rodgers on this team just because we picked Anthony Richardson, and there's no guarantee that he starts early. So I don't mind getting Aaron Rodgers to sort of compete out the gate a little bit with. Man, what are we looking at? Do I want 11th round Tank Bigsby, man? Is that really what we're doing here? 11th round Tank Bigsby. What else do we have? Honestly, give me Greg Dulcich. Yeah, give me Greg Dulcich. I'll take that. 11th round Greg Dulcich I think is too late in tight end premium. For a guy like Dulcich. Yeah, where do I have him? 91. So what pick would that be? think that's like 7th round, 8th round. What else we got in here? USFL is a part auction, part snake startup. Tell me more. Tell me more. Yeah, exactly, dude. Kansas has looked good. Of course, they're well coached. Grady Dick looks amazing. They have other guys. They have like this like lacrosse guy that I saw. I think he's like an older player, but he looks great. Like, there's other guys on that team that I'm missing too. I like Uday as well, even though I think he's more like their bench big man. But I think he's a really good college basketball big. Like, I don't want to be too complimentary of him, but his game almost reminds me of like a Rob Williams. This is tight end premium. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It like this is on a silver platter. Like you have, if we're going to get an audition here in 2023, which I think we will. I think he's going to get, his 5 to 10 games to show what's up. And a guy who looks like Trey Lance, I have to bet on him. And I was very much like, I like Trey Lance coming out. He was my 103. I got a bunch of shit for having like Justin Fields over him. I still thought that he was great. He's a profile that we like to chase. He looks a lot like on paper, Josh Allen. Or not. He looks like if Josh Allen had the passing profile in college of like a Kyler Murray or a Baker Mayfield. That is Trey Lance, which is really exciting. Of course against FCS, but still, you have guys in FCS like Josh Allen that didn't even complete over 60% of his passes, and Trey Lance went out there and threw like 28 touchdowns, 0 picks. Like it's pretty crazy. Thoughts on Jake Ferguson? Very interested. I was talking with Danny on the Stock Exchange channel, and Danny seems to think, and I think it's a sentiment from a lot of Cowboys fans, they tagged Dalton Schultz last year. They're in some cap trouble, right? They have to re-sign Tony Pollard in some way. The Zeke contract is looming over them. They don't really have the luxury money to go and spend on Dalton Schultz, and it seems like they like Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot as just, they're two tight ends that they can roll out there and be good with. I really like Jake Ferguson. I thought he's a Wisconsin boy. Not all that athletic. Now, when I say really like, I like him as like a late round dart. I don't know. I think his ceiling is probably somebody like, he could sort of be a Freiermuth type, a Hawkinson type, just in terms of like, guys really want super athletic tight ends. That's why, like, Freiermuth had a great year last year, and he hasn't budged at all on redraft ADP. Who else can I take here? I want a wide receiver. I didn't take enough wide receivers in this draft. Mechie. I kind of just want to go Michael Thomas, dude. Give me Michael Thomas. I'll bet on that again. I will. But yeah, I do like Jake Ferguson. I don't think the ceiling is anything crazy because he's not all that athletic, but I think he's good. I think Jason Witten's a lazy type comp, but, I think he's good. He showed some flashes last year. He was semi-efficient last year. Like, he was somebody that sort of popped, like not Chig Okonkwo level popped, but he sort of popped. So he's somebody that I like. And I've been sneaking him on the last round of like redraft leagues and stuff. What else we got? People are tweeting their feelings about Purdy. Yeah, Purdy stuff. I really think, dude, like after that injury and like sort of his Lynn sanity type run, you could call it, I think he might get another crack at it, but I think Trey Lance gets the first crack at it. I that's a really brutal like pitcher type injury, MLB type injury. So I'm not going to bet that he's going to, recover and come out the gate, beat out somebody with the pedigree that Trey Lance has. What else we got in here? This has been a good discussion. You guys have just been lobbing my way. Here for the college basketball content, you like Illinois? Okay. I feel like Illinois has been pretty good this year. I haven't kept up too much with the Big Ten. I would say Big 12 has been the most basketball that I've been watching. Man, is there anything more beautiful than Purdue's annual February and March collapse? Come on now. Dolchich a lot, bro. That's a good pick. He's got wide receiver skills playing tight end. Yeah, dude, his 8-out was historic. Or not, I won't say historic, but I know like Dynasty Ian has brought up a bunch of good stats about his 8-out. Like especially at tight end, when you're not going to get, like unless if you're George Kittle and you're a freak, You're not going to get the kind of yak you can get at wide receiver. Like, these guys don't have as much wiggle, right? Their ADOT's usually shorter in, right? So they're getting like a 6-yard ADOT. It's tough to be efficient on a per catch basis as a tight end the same way that a wide receiver can. But a step in the right direction is just having a high ADOT, and he operates downfield, which is huge. It means, he can get 3 catches, 65 yards, and a touchdown, and you didn't really need that PPR upside. So he's very interesting. He was efficient, commanded targets. It's also a really big vote of confidence for him that he beat out Albert Okwuegbunam. Albert Okwuegbunam. I don't know why I absolutely screwed that up. But you get what I'm saying? He beat him out, even though he dealt with injuries. Like, I feel like it's so rare to see a player, a young player, like, deal with injuries and then still make an impact, like, as a rookie, right? Like, we saw Jameson Williams come back his rookie year this year and didn't do anything. Of course, they'll just didn't tear an ACL. But I'm just saying, as a rookie, you're picking up a playbook, you're new in the system. Like, it's tough to rehab an injury and then also get on the field as a team's trying to win games in the NFL, and you're just a first-year guy learning on the job. You know what I mean? So him doing that in his first year, despite kind of like getting off to a slow start with injury, I think is really impressive. What else we got? Yeah, Jalen Wilson's a beast. Jason Wilson's a beast. You wish that Lance wasn't playing for a team in a Super Bowl window. I don't know if they have the patience. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But I think that he will get his audition. I think he will. Good draft. This is perfect. I think that the draft came out nice. What do we think about A-Rich at 409? A-Rich at 409 is a little bit questionable to me. Like, that felt like a reach when I did it, but I think, like, if you had confirmed A-Rich goes top 12 in the NFL draft, let's say he goes, I was going to say, like, Detroit, something like that, it'd be over. Yeah, the Big 12 has been amazing, dude. TCU's been great. Texas has been great despite the Chris Beard thing. Texas Tech is scrappy. I'm probably missing some of the higher profile ones, too. Like, of course, Baylor, Kansas. Toronto Dave in here. Zach Edey's Canadian? I actually had no clue. Are you doing anything underdog related tonight? I am not, but I might run up some drafts on my phone later on. I'm probably going to dip out of here soon. I haven't eaten dinner yet. Just wanted to get some quick reps in. Yeah, that's fair. Could be early to pull the trigger on 409 without knowing the draft capital yet, but I was sort of just projecting a little bit. Could be a value. If he goes top 12 to the Lions, like, he probably shoots up from the 409, to be honest. But I don't know. Tough to gauge perception on Richardson right now. Superflex trade 110, 111 for 105. Possibly, but I don't know. This far out, I don't love that. Like, I just want to see, like, what's on the board before I would do a move like that. Yep, this is Superflex. Give me Aaron Rodgers over Algier. I think quarterback is just more valuable. And I think Rodgers is really slept on. I have him 69th overall. Nice, of course. In my rankings right now. So what would that be? Like 5 times 12 is 5. That's a 6-round pick in my rankings. I have him next to Geno Smith and Kenny Pickett. I don't really get him being a 10th round pick in this mock, guys. Right? Like, yeah, dude, Pickett's a 5'12". I guess Geno 8'12". So Geno's even a sort of a value there. But I like Aaron Rodgers. I think, like, in terms of projecting him, once you get past, like, Tua, Trey Lance, like, you can project him with the rest of those quarterbacks for this year. And, of course, he always has the upside to have, like, a 40-touchdown spike season and be really good for the price that you paid. So I'll take Aaron Rodgers all day. But I do get the risk and reward with, if he potentially retires. But I don't know. We'll see. I really don't believe that he retires. I really don't. You said you love A. Richardson there. He's physical. Skills are off the chart. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love the tools. Konami code stuff is there. He popped in. I'm going to go into this. I'm going to break down sort of what I did new to the quarter, or just any of the RS grade models in general. But for quarterbacks, I pretty much added a new stat in there. That is EPA, so expected points added. It's like an advanced efficiency stat for a per play basis. And I took into account how much EPA you're adding while you're rushing as a quarterback, right? Because running the ball doesn't really lead to wins in the NFL, right? Like we sort of know that. So if you can find a way to use your feet on like third downs, critical situations, touchdowns, that'll contribute to your EPA and it'll be more meaningful, right? So not empty calorie running, but like Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl running would be high EPA rushing. So looking for that. And then also rushing in college is your sacks, right? Sacks are incorporated in there. So I also added sacks, which I think is good because I think it's important to be able to add a lot of rushing EPA, but not at the cost of like really, really ugly sacks. Like I think we saw that with Malik Willis a lot this year. You see that with Russell Wilson, but of course he's good enough to sort of overcome that. Justin Fields has actually been sort of challenged by that last year. But especially in college, like if you could minimize the EPA lost on sacks and then also maximize the EPA gained on rushes, then I think that's a really good combination to have. And then it's also, if you're a guy like Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence kind of popped like this. If you're a guy who doesn't really pop an EPA added on rushing, you can kind of make up for that by not taking really bad sacks. Because even, statues can take awful sacks. Like, I think some of the guys that were super low in like EPA lost on sacks would be like, I think like Josh Rosen was down there, like Darnold was down there, Baker was down there. So it was really interesting to look at. And one of the new things I've been looking at, and Richardson pops really well in EPA added rushing, and then he also doesn't take really bad sacks either. So that's a really nice little boost for A-Rich after this new update I did for the RS grades. That was an absolute tangent, but I will say, to close this out, I just talked about the new quarterback model. All of my RS grades, not tight ends, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, completely revamped. The R squared is better on these. The hit rates are better on these. They're all housed on my Discord, on the Patreon, patreon.com/Ron Stewart. Sign up for the Patreon. That'll get you into the Discord, and then on the Discord, you can see the RS grades. So if you want to see, and I have RS grades right now for all the 2023 guys, so you can kind of see where people match up. And of course, you have my Dynasty rank is on there, rookie rank is on there, buy-sell consideration stuff, or recommendations. A lot of cool stuff on patreon.com/Ron Stewart. That's why we hopped on here, did a Dynasty mock draft, just because I kind of wanted to look off of them and see a little bit. Because I do get when I do these Dynasty rankings, it gets tough where you're looking at like ADP, and it's just like, does this make sense to like bring this in a draft room? Like, does it hold weight in a draft room? Because sometimes you can just sort of start your rankings, and I don't know, you don't want it to look too off base. Of course, you want them to be your own, but all right. I love KenPom for college basketball. I literally have that subscription every year. I pay for the subscription every single year. KenPom's the best. How did you finish last year in best ball winnings? Honestly, not great in best ball winnings. I actually put out a video. It's titled like, "Am I even good at fantasy football?" It's on the channel. It's probably like a couple videos back. I went through all of my buy-ins, winnings for 2022. Exactly. Like, that's sort of what clicked when I put those stats in. But for being such a young quarterback and like sort of raw at the position too, not taking really bad sacks EPA wise is a huge positive indicator. And on top of that, he's adding a ton of EPA rushing, so that really gave him a nice bump there. Now, with all that being said, I love you guys. I hope you all have a good Saturday night. I do enjoy just hopping on stream, catching up with you guys, just ripping off comments. I feel like we had some good discussion in here tonight. But as always, I'm going to go run up some Hogwarts Legacy, and I will see you guys in the next one.